What's up YouTube, this is Dragon and this is another Pokemon Wi-Fi battle. So let's get to the battle at hand. Now this team is definitely an interesting team and it looks like KoiandDragon can definitely have a good advantage in any situation bar the Sylveon being the first Pokemon of choice. However, if my opponent decides to choose Sylveon first, then I'll be able to go right into my Blissey and I'll be kind of predicting like a Toxic at that point. And seeing that this is the Black Charizard, it's probably going to Mega Evolve into Charizard X. So I'm going to go for the Stone Edge will do more damage regardless, so I'm definitely going to go for the Stone Edge. Definitely. And let's see what my opponent does. Okay, he withdraws. So whoever he withdraws into is going to get hit by Stone Edge no matter what. And it's the Suicune. Okay. So there we go. The Stone Edge connects. That's good stuff. And that does a good amount of damage. So now I'll be able to see. Let me make sure about something. Okay, the Charizard can be killed by my Northern. So that's good. So now I'm going to go for the Drain Punch and do that sort of exchange. And he goes for the Ice Beam. Okay. That's cool. I'll eat that Ice Beam up like it's no problem. And the Drain Punch does some damage. Looks like it's not Rocky Helmet like the last time I fought a Suicune. And it looks like it is a Rocky Helmet like the last time I fought a Suicune. Okay, so it's definitely going to be that type of game. Should I go for the knockoff? Probably not. I want to do as much damage as possible, and the Drain Punches are sufficing. So, good. My opponent's gonna go for the Scald, just like last time. So, no, it doesn't burn me, unfortunately. So now I just have to hope my opponent doesn't go for the rest. Because if he does go for the rest, then it'll kind of prove a theory. Oh, no. My opponent doesn't go for the rest. That's good. So, there we go. Well, I at least get the attack boost. So, unfortunately, this Rocky Helmet is going to do a little bit more damage to me than my Drain Punch will be recovering and all that other nice stuff. But that Suicune is dead, and that was a huge threat. So, I got that out the way. And I'm happy about that. But now I am worried about what the Charizard can do because, I mean, it is a Charizard. So he goes, okay, goes back into this Mega Charizard here. And with that, I'm just going to go for the... You know what? He's going to be able to hit first no matter what. So I'm going to go for the Drain Punch whether he Mega Evolves or not. Just because, like, if he Mega Evolves into X, okay, that's cool. So if he uses Dragon Dance, at least I'll be able to hit it with a +1 Drain Punch and then a Mop Punch afterwards. Okay, he goes for the Flame Charge. You know what? I'm not really sure if... No, KoiandDragon cannot live that. Okay. That's a little bit weird. He went for the Flame Charge instead of the Dragon Dance. I guess that's his way of getting up an extra speed. But this is going to pose a bit of a problem because I can't send out my Northern because it definitely has the Dragon Claw and that will OHKO my Northern within a heartbeat. So now I'm forced to play this type of game. And let's see. I wonder what my opponent is going to do. Maybe instead of Flare Blitz, my opponent has the Flame Charge. Oh, no. He has Flare Blitz too. Okay. So, how much damage is that going to do to Blissey? Over half. Definitely over half. Wow, that was a lot of damage. My goodness. Okay, so now I don't know what my opponent's last Pokemon is. So, And now I'm kind of wishing that I went for the Seismic Toss instead. But I was predicting him to use something else besides like Flare Blitz or something. But if he has Dragon Claw, he'll reveal it now. So I just hope he doesn't have it. Okay, he goes for another Flame Charge. And yeah, that's definitely going to kill Blissey. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to have to go for the Hurricane. Because, well, I really have no choice. I hope my opponent... Yeah, I would have definitely probably killed him if I went for the Seismic Toss. Alright, so... I'm going to go for the Noivern. Now, if he has a Dragon Claw, then I definitely lost this. But I can't go for the Boom Burst or anything like that. Because he might have Gengar as his last Pokemon. And, you know, his last Pokemon... Let's see. You know what? Maybe Flamethrower will be the best play. Because this last Pokemon could be Excadrill. And if this last Pokemon is the Pokemon with the Pixelate ability, it's not going to be able to kill. And I Vista Sylveon. So, and Vista Gengar, Choice Specs Flamethrower should be able to kill it. And Hurricane won't do much damage to the Zapdos, so I'm going to go for the Flamethrower. I'm going to lock myself into Flamethrower. And he uses Outrage. Yeah, that's complete obliteration. Yeah, that had no chance with that. And my Noivern faints. That really sucks. You know what? Maybe I should have conserved my Conch Elder. That probably would have been a better thing to do. But I was a bit worried about the what was I worried about? I was worried about the Suicune resting, because Suicune resting kind of just makes a lot of things redundant, and nobody wants to go through that. So I'm gonna have another battle, because why not? Huh. You know, usually in that case, like, I mean, you can't choose 6 Pokemon in the battle spot. Like, I would really love to be able to choose 6, because, like, in that situation, I definitely would have chose my Gliscor, then, you know, would have went for an Earthquake and all types of other stuff. Or heck, if I had my Azumarill in that match, I would have won that, because you can't outrage an Azumarill. Nor can you Flare, well, you can Flare Blitz an Azumarill, but it won't be very effective. And then Azumarill can just retaliate with the Play Rough or Waterfall. I most likely would have went for the Waterfall, because Waterfall would have been more accurate. So, yeah, Waterfall definitely would have been a more accurate move. And you know, Play Rough, maybe I would have went for the Play Rough, because it does have a chance of lowering the opponent's attack. But at the same time, you know, probably wouldn't have necessarily needed to have gone for it. So let me print the screen real quick. And it looks like a lot of people are carrying Suicune nowadays. Alright, that's 2 Suicunes in a row. So let's see. Okay, given this situation, I can choose my Noivern first, because Noivern will be able to Draco Meteor either one of the 2 Landorus's and pretty much kill it. Now that Entei is going to be a bit of an issue, so I need something to be able to tank that Entei. I need that. Let's see. And yeah. Alright. So I think Noivern, Blissey, and Gliscor would be the best for this particular team. And I'm not necessarily worried about the Scizor because I've never seen a situation in which Scizor could be used, and I have a feeling that my opponent wouldn't choose Scizor for this battle as well, because it's nothing that really gives Scizor an advantage. I mean, maybe the Azumarill or the Blissey in the Conkeldurr. You know, I can kind of see Scizor having some sort of an advantage in this fight, but you know, most people don't really choose Scizor, so I'm not really worried about it. And in the case that he does choose Scizor, I still do have my my Gliscor, so it's not really much of a problem. Okay, so let's see what she's gonna do. I am a bit worried about either one of those Pokemon having choice scarfs, because that's definitely going to take a huge turn in the battle. But you know what? It really depends on what my opponent does first. Like, okay, so my opponent sends out the Gardevoir first, so this is definitely going to force me to switch into my Blissey immediately. Okay, traces the Infiltrator, so pretty much traces a useless ability in this situation because my Blissey, well, none of my Pokemon have Substitute, so, or Reflex or anything like that. So I know most likely a Mega Evolution is definitely inevitable. So whenever my opponent decides to make a move, alright. Okay, hopefully my opponent doesn't get like a disconnect or anything like that. And then again, my opponent could probably just be really contemplative of what to do. I know that this Pokemon most likely has Side Shock. That's going to be a problem. And I do want to have some sort of defense against it. Maybe my opponent could be predicting the Blissey switch in, because she was taking a long time to make a decision, so she might be having a little bit of foresight. Okay, well, she goes for the Hyper Voice. And that definitely was a safe play. Okay, so from there, I can now go for the Toxic. And if my opponent has the Scizor, that would be quite interesting to substitute. Okay. I've never seen anything like that before. A Mega Gardevoir with a substitute. Now that is definitely the newest thing I've ever seen. So I'm gonna have to go for Seismic Toss. Hopefully, okay, Side Shot. I have 304 health. This is gonna do a lot of damage. Oh, it doesn't do a lot. I'm actually surprised. But hey, that's what you get for having a max defensive Blissey. Okay, so let's see, 304. Let's see, 150 times 2 is 300. So I'm gonna have to use Soft Boiled at this point. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to use Soft Boiled now. I have no choice, but I can still live it. Okay, he goes for the Side Shock again. Hopefully he doesn't crit. If it crits, that's definitely gonna. Oh, okay, good. Didn't crit. If my opponent critted, that would have been absolutely devastating. But that didn't happen. So now at this moment, I am predicting. Let's see. 150, 150. Okay. Yeah, I have nothing to lose by going for a Soft Boiled now. Okay, yeah. So I made the right choice. Okay. Yeah, it's 54. Let's see. Don't necessarily want to play this game with my opponent, if you know what I mean. Let's see. What are my other Pokemon? Gliscor. I'm gonna go for the Seismic Toss here because actually I'm gonna go for the Toxic. Okay, good. So yeah, even though my Blissey, here we go, and the toxic hits, that was the key toxic. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go into my Gliscor, and I'll be able to protect and fend off the extra damage that this toxic can do to me. I mean, fend off the extra damage that the toxic, no, that the Side Shock would do to me. And of course, Gliscor can take a Side Shock because, well, it's hitting Gliscor's defensive side. So that's good. Unless my opponent predicts this, but I highly doubt it because this was a bit of a quicker. Oh, not bad, not bad. Predicted the Gliscor switching. That is pretty good. That is actually spectacular, to be honest. I mean, I really have no comment. That was a really good prediction. That was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I don't know if that was a prediction or she saw me at a very low amount of health and kind of felt that the Hyper Voice would kill me at that range. I don't think a Hyper Voice would have killed me at that range, but nonetheless, good play. Very good play. Okay, so it seems that Mega Gardevoirs are a bit of a problem for me. And I really wish that wasn't the case. Let me see something. I wonder what Gardevoir's speed is. And hopefully my face didn't freeze either. Okay, it's 328. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Okay, so let's see. Can I let my Gliscor die? Yes, I can. I'm gonna go for the Earthquake, and hopefully, no, he just goes for the Side Shot. Well, that's cool, cause now I can switch into my. Okay, that's great. Now I can switch it to my Noivern and go for the Boom Burst. And that'll be able to get rid of this Pokemon right here and now. So that's good. Yeah, this Pokemon was a serious problem for me. And I wonder will my opponent switch? I mean, the Boom Burst hits her whole team. Okay, she doesn't switch. Alright, so yes, this huge problem is now down. That prediction with the Hyper Voice, yeah, that was pretty serious. I'm glad that it didn't kill my Gliscor because, well, you know, I wouldn't have been able to use Protect or anything. Okay, so let's see. Now we're dealing with this. Okay, Blissey can definitely live whatever a Suicune can do. I believe even after a burn. And then on top of that, Noivern is Infiltrator, so I'll be able to go through any substitutes that this Pokemon might set up. At the same time, my opponent could be luring me. That is a possibility. Could be doing a double switch. Oh, it goes for the Icy Wind. Okay. So that's the best possible thing that the Suicune could have gone for. Because now I'll just easily be able to get a soft leveled up and be back at relatively full health. So that's really good. Okay, now it all depends on what my opponent decides to go into from here. Or if he decides, or she decides to stay in. Okay, well, she decides to switch. So, oh, it's the Entei. Okay, so being that it's the Entei, I have a strong feeling that this Entei might be choice banded. A lot of choice banded Enteis make their rounds when when you are fighting them. So that's something that I have to definitely take into consideration. Huh. Man, Choice Banded Entei, that's not something that just I want to scoff at. So I'm gonna give it a Toxic because I can live at least one. Oh, Flame Charge. That's cool. And okay. And we'll go. Why? Why did I have to miss that Toxic? Why? Why? I needed this Toxic. I needed this Toxic so bad. Now I'm gonna have to go for another Soft Boiled because she's gonna go for the Sacred Fire. Okay, it didn't do that much damage, nor did it burn me, so I'm actually pretty shocked that I didn't get the burn. It's like a 30% burn chance, but at the same time, it's almost like impossible to dodge that burn. But I'm glad my Blissey is alive at this point, because now I'll be able to hopefully go for another Toxic, and she goes for the Sacred Fire again. So that's a good thing. It's not Choice Banded, so I'll be able to live what this Pokemon does to me. Okay, yeah, if it was Choice Banded Sacred Fire, then I don't really know how well I would have been able to fare that. But it's not much of an issue now, especially being that I took that Sacred Fire so well. Okay, so I'm not going to necessarily try to stay in here for too long. What I want to do is Soft Boiled up so that I can switch into my Norvern and take that Sacred Fire. And okay, hopefully he doesn't crit. That's something I don't want. And Blissey fainted. Yeah, Blissey just straight up fainted. Let's see. Yeah, so I would have to deal with an Icy Wind. Alright, yeah, that's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. Alright, so I'm going to go for my Hurricane. Hopefully the Hurricane hits, because that's pretty much the only thing I can kind of go for. I wonder if a Choice Specs Hurricane can do enough damage. See, that was the key Toxic right there. That was the key Toxic right there, because that Toxic determined whether I would have been able to tank this Pokemon or not. And, you know, unfortunately, here I am in this situation, possibly not being able to, you know, win the game. That was the key Toxic. Okay, will this no, a double Hurricane miss? So now I'm looking at an Entei that should pretty much be dead, and a potential Icy Wind coming from his Suicune. That's probably going to be, you know, max special defense, because, I mean, well, no, not max special defense, but it's just something I don't want to deal with, you know. So will this Entei be faster? Stone Edge. What? Yeah. Yeah, okay, this is, yeah, pretty much one of the most unluckiest battles. So, yeah, I missed the Toxic, and I missed 2 Hurricanes. Yeah. Yeah, but that's the price you pay with Hurricane, you know. You either miss or you miss, you know. You can't really win with a Hurricane trying to bet on that. But, you know, that is the way the cookie crumbles, and Pokemon is 50% luck, or kind of like, maybe like 20% luck. 20 or 30% luck, give or take. But luck is a factor in the game, and you cannot underestimate how luck does play a role in the game. I have to say, those were some pretty interesting battles. I felt, I am personally feeling, I'm a little salty. I'm not gonna lie, I do feel a little bit salty because I missed the key Toxic, and then I missed 2 Hurricanes in a row. So it's like, you know, I mean, who wouldn't feel salty after that? Like, there's no way I can say, oh no, no. I feel a little bit salty, not too salty though. Maybe kind of like watered down salt, because it was still pretty enjoyable, and I did like how the battles took place. But nonetheless, I'm glad you guys enjoyed these videos, and as you know, there will be more videos like this in the future. Well, see you later.